All right, well, thank you so much. We told you that when we come back, we'll be looking at the new chieftaincy law in Ogun State. And we have in the studio with us this morning the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Maruf Afolabi Afakwe, is joining us. Good morning, Honorable Commissioner.
Very good morning to us.
Thank you so much for joining us. Well, so much has been said about this new chieftaincy law. We really don't want to waste much of our time. We want to look at the critical parts of that law, the critical elements of that law, and we need to actually break it down and explain to the public, because we've got a whole lot of calls from people wanting to know the content of that law, what that law intends to achieve, for our traditional institution.
Well, let me first and foremost thank good people from the state for the support being given to this government, to this administration. Because without their support, we will not be here. And I want to say that the only thing that's constant in life is change. I cannot continue doing things the same way every now and then. There must be changes. And those changes must be positive ones. Sincerely, this new law is to aid the way we do things in that ministry. For instance, when people talk about the law, the only aspect they are picking is about burial rights, and they didn't go beyond that. We have opportunity to also lay down the procedure, a better way of selecting urbans. And anyone that's we have a whole lot of issues that we face while I joined that ministry. Up to today, a whole lot of people are still parading themselves as urbans, and yet they are not urbans. All those things, because our law actually captures it very well. Probably what we are going to face doing this, it's not as stiff. People now feel that this thing, we cannot continue doing this. This new law is saying that if you are not an urban, you are parading your urban, you are subject to face the cost of law without any option of fine. And with that, if you are looking at that, they tend to see that you must just do the right thing.
Is that part of the new law?
Yes.
Okay, so does that also affect the issue of the coronet urbans that
No. There are two different things. Coronet urbans actually crowned by administration. Okay. We're only challenging the process.
Okay.
But they still have approval. Okay. By large administration. There's some who don't have approval at all. They just wake up overnight. See, there are some urbans even now that check the file. They but they don't have the approval of the governor, either our governor now or the last administration. As such, if you don't have approval, there is no way. If you don't have ESCO approval or governor approval, anything from part 2 has ESCO approval. Anyone may be coronet as governor approval. If you don't have any of these two, there's no way you can be parading yourself approval. I will be looking the other way around. It's never done. Ogun State is known to be a trailblazer in most things, and this cannot be an exception. We have aside from that, we have other issues. Whether you are, if you want to get promotion as a ballet, we have some 3 new things that we have to consider. One, you must spend minimum of 15 years as ballet in that area. And you must also be able to show evidence of development. What have we been able to do? Have we been able to attract school or this or that to that area? And lastly, the population should not be less than about 20,000. All these are the new law. It's not in our previous law. And the reason why we are doing this is that if you want to get upgraded as an urban, there are some traditional urbans. If you want over time to be part of this, then you must have paid your dues. Something because you are not from royal family, you are just a ballet. I want to call an urban. What have you done to ensure that you actually merit this? In those days, we don't have clear-cut criteria. We don't have. Somebody I can just come and say, in my village, as a commissioner, I want to make somebody an urban. And so be it. once I get the approval of the governor. But now we are saying you must spend 15 years to even get to be coronet. And as coronet, for you to get promotion to the next level, another 20 years, another 10 years, that makes 25 years to get to the next stage. And what this thing is actually telling us that, yes, because the person is paving way for the family to be over. And there must be something. You cannot be placing a ballet that got promoted with traditional urbans. Something must be paid for. You have to pay something for it. And those are the things we are trying to do. The issue of saying that most times we did something recently, yes, it's still there, but I still feel that if you want to have an urban, and somebody, and people don't understand, somebody in hierarchy will be chairman of kingmakers. And if there's a tie, the chairman has a casting vote. But we did one last time, but that was the law that not they could have done. There are only 2 kingmakers. And that means, to me, only one will determine who become urban. Because if it's the chairman, he has a casting vote. If it's 1-1, he will cast another vote. That means the person is having 2 votes already. So we don't even, whoever the person wants, become an urban. We are also looking at all this, that this may not be true. I mean, if there are 3, and you have if you are 2, and say you should have a casting vote, that means automatically only one person.
The number of kingmakers, is that something that can be controlled by government, or is purely traditional?
It's traditional, but when they are no longer alive, we can give them warrantship.
Okay.
But what the law says is, if there are still 2, you cannot appoint warrantship. But if there are still 2, you cannot appoint warrantship. And if there are 2, one of them will be chairman. And the person will have casting vote. And to me, it's only that person that we can another, whether we like it or not. So once you can get hold of that person, you become another. All these anomalies are things we should not do. The way the 75 about were crowned, if this has been stipulated, there's a ballet you have spent 15 years. I know most of them would have spent 15 years. So it's also a way to check the government of just taking, just doing things haphazardly. We cannot continue like that. There must be standard. Ogun State is known for standard. Ogun State is known for doing things the right way. And if we are now setting the pace in all this, I think it's a welcome development. And to now say about the one that's actually, people are actually debating very well, and that's about burial rights. Can we continue using law that have been with us over years? Yeah, people are saying it will erode our culture, it will do this and that. I differ. The reason is this. There is some provision that because some people before Abeokuta, when Oba dies, the person must be killed. Can we still trust person doesn't have fundamental human rights? Must you kill somebody?
Is that still happening?
No. I'm just referring to the old. The thing has changed. It's still in some states. It's still existing. In some states, it's no longer existing in the state. If we are that, we are still saying you can still mutilate the body of another. You can do this. You can do that. Nobody is saying there should not be traditional right. There should be traditional right. It is allowed, and I will read the portion of that law here to everybody, for us to have a better understanding. But we are saying that if you look at any family, especially in Yoruba land, you see it combination of a Muslim, a Christian, and traditionalist. But most time, the traditionalists also try to fuse themselves as a Christian or Muslim. Either of them will have either Muslim name or Christian name. Either you have either Christian name or Muslim name. And if you are writing in Nigeria, religion, hardly do you put traditional religion. What you see is Christianity, Islam. That means our constitution does not even recognize this our traditional religion. There's no law you will pass that now supersede the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. I was an Oba. I'm practicing as a Muslim. If I die, why must traditional people bury me? That's the thing people are asking. You allow, only you want to say that if you want to be an Oba, you have to be a traditionalist.
But when installing them, do they go by that way? They go the traditional way.
I'm not saying they should not go traditional way. I'm saying that when they die, there should be some traditional rites. But you cannot tell me that I should not be buried. I'm practicing as a Muslim or as a Christian. If that is my practice, well, when the Oba was probably alive, you allow the Oba to whether go to the mosque or go to the church. Well, what now prevents you from allowing the person to be buried? Some say that as a dead person, you don't have.
Don't they take part in traditional festivals?
They do. What I'm saying, the traditional festival, if they take part in the traditional festival, they go to church, they go to mosque. I'm not saying, why is it not exclusive right of certain to bury them? You should be able to give the option. If when they are alive, they do all the three, they should also give them option of how the person wants to be buried. You cannot take that right away from them. And if you look at, because this thing is subject to public debate, and people are saying that yes, traditionalists, they have their say. There's only majority that must have a way. The most Christians are in support of this. Muslims are in support of this. And I ask myself, we are all one. Myself, my forefather, the first Oluwo of Itoko. I came from traditionalist background. Partly with everybody, all of us, not have traditionalist background one way or the other. But things is actually changing. That is very critical. We are saying that there will be traditional rights, but allow the family to have a say how the person will be buried. The thing is already like that. Look at Olubadan died. So very in Islamic way. But our own Abeokuta died. That's how it took, and the family went to court. And that was the why we are interested in this bill. Went to court to say it's their right, it's their fact that that corpse belong to them. Does not belong to the analyst. It's not their family. So who now won? I think the case is still in court. The case is still in court. So we are saying, instead of us subjecting ourselves to this, let's come with a bill. And the bill will only be accepted by the governor. No government will determine.
Commissioner, you wanted to say something about a particular aspect. Talking about if the dead have any right. Do they?
Yes. Someone saying the dead will lose all rights. Once we are dead, what's right are you claiming? Well, here's what I want to agree with that. I'm saying that the family of the deceased also have some rights. Is the because the property the man will leave belong to the family. If his body supposed to also belong to them.
Maybe the community said too.
If the dead will not have a right, but the living, the children, the family must have some rights, and those rights should be respected. And there's one aspect of this law that said that anybody that want to be Abba, you cannot force the person forced, quote and unquote, to join a sacred court. It should be voluntary. And if there's also freedom of association guaranteed by the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. So if you cannot tell me that I must join, if the person join willingly, even that are not Oba, they are joining secret court, it is by right. If you choose to do that, no problem. But don't say because somebody want to be an Oba, it must be the right thing to be done.
But whoever wants to become a traditional ruler must have actually gotten the nod of the governor first and foremost. Is it after getting that approval of the governor if he gets the approval of the governor and he's made an Oba and they're now trying to say he must join a secret court, does that stop him from becoming an Oba in the long run?
No. We are saying once the person chooses to join, no problem. If you are forcing the person, the person has right to challenge you in court or report you.
So it's a question of choice now.
It's a question of choice. Let it. If you want to join, you are free. We are saying that you cannot compel somebody to do something against his or her will. It is never done. It is not guaranteed. That's what not guaranteed. The Constitution of Nigeria is freedom of association. I must be able to free to choose. It's either to join, which one not to join.
One of the arguments of those that are trying to look at the other side of this new law, especially the issue of burial rights of traditional rulers and their joining of civic courts, is that they are saying the state government is trying to change tradition completely, culture, and all those things that we inherited from our forefathers. Is that it?
Most of us, if we inherit something that we think is not in line with tune of
modern time,
can't we change it? Do we still do things the way things is being done? In our old days, our own forefather we tell the wife, please, I'm having another wife tomorrow, go and prepare room for me. Can you say because that is the way it used to be? Can anybody come and do that with our people now? The person is just die or family dead. So things must go in line with the friends. We have to move up. And what's this? What is it giving us? Have you ever seen anybody in Nigeria that's saying, look at Japan. If you want to rule Japan, you take oath in the traditional way, and we are getting results.
In Japan,
but in Nigeria, it's going to tell them is, if you go to court, are you a Christian or Muslim? Or if you want to change this thing to target, then let's also give some rights. But the right of traditionalist is being eroded into the Constitution of Federal of Nigeria. Anybody anything we want to do must be in tune and line with the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. This cannot supersede the Constitution of Federal Republic.
On a lighter mood, as a politician, Honorable Fakwe, are you advocating that traditional religion should also come in when people are swearing for public office?
Why not? Because some people are claiming to be traditionalists. If you claim to be traditionalist, for instance, I'm a Muslim, and I want to something, I will never come like a lie on an empty promise. I won't do it for any reason. That's my belief. If somebody does not believe in it, you cannot force me to say, I believe you should. I'm not saying any governor to say, I believe in Shango. Let me go and follow Shango. So if this thing is going away gradually, and people are not noticing, or people are not listening, that is the way. But that's why I'm saying culture. Which aspect of culture is being taken away from us? They are saying that you should mutilate the dead of the person. I told somebody, sincerely speaking, and I mean it. If I die tomorrow and somebody in my body, I can't tell them to give to the person. What do I want to do with my own body? But if I do not to give to people, I still want my body. Why must you take it away from my family? If I put it in there and say, please, because to me,
well, maybe the fear of the traditionalists is that they will have no say in the installation process, and of course,
Now see, let me read, please. Let me read. Why I'm saying that doesn't take away those things from them. Okay. Traditional rulers, installation, and burial rights. Any person who disturb the burial of national rulers by the family is guilty of an offense and liable on conviction to 12 months imprisonment. This is without prejudice to the observance of traditional rights. This is without prejudice to the observance of traditional rights by those entitled to do it by customary law. We are not saying you should not do traditional rights. They cannot disturb them from burying. A traditional ruler shall be entitled to bury in accordance with the custom and tradition of the land, save, however, that his body shall not be subject to any mutilation or cannibalization. Why do you need to mutilate the body of people in this modern days? To serve what purpose is serving. Notwithstanding anything contained in this section, it shall be the responsibility of the relevant traditional council to determine the customary law and the nature of traditional burial right. I'm not saying there should be traditional burial right, but you can determine what the thing should be. Determination endorsed by those referred to 3 but shall be made by declaration with the commissioner. I don't even need that. The receipt of the declaration by the office of commissioner shall be deemed to be sufficient proof of registration. From the comment of this law, human ritual as part of installation and burial of Oba or she is hereby prohibited. I will have human ritual to come on to install another. I can't see because somebody wants to Oba will want. I mean that doesn't the person, the other person that want to kill has his own right, born by somebody. How can you take life of somebody because somebody want to live?
The traditionalists,
yes.
Have they come to support this?
No, I'll come to that. Any person or group of person who kills or uses human part as part of the installation burial right of a member or a chief of the state shall be guilty of an offence under section 240 of 3.1 of criminal laws of the state. Our board commission will be liable to imprisonment under the said law. I'll come and answer you. Then the one I've mentioned before said no Oba or chief shall be compelled to join any secret court, secret society, any association organization against its wish, against its will religious belief. If you so wish, no problem. You have the right to join. Nobody is saying it's a bad thing. No. If but you should be able to choose if there's a freedom of association. Likewise, any other person can. Any person can have this provision. God, I'm able to this now. I'm just trying to get it clearer to all of us. That is not what we are saying is how can you say that you woman this because you want somebody to live. You want a number. They are saying nothing how can you take a man and come to I don't know. I'm sorry saying this.
No, it's allowed.
I don't know.
It's allowed. Yeah.
But some things are not just with. It's not something we should be thinking. But again, you are asking whether
if the traditionalists, because we have to wait.
What I'm saying is, I've mentioned it before, that in every aspect of life, anybody in marriage only have a say. Is the majority that have a way. These are subject to public opinion. People came, they talk about it, and they collate the opinion of different people together. I'm not in the House of Assembly, I've not influenced this. I also put up my own one that I sent to them. It's for them to consider. When they feel that the choices of now represent the entire Ogun State, and when they feel that what people are asking for, the majority, this is what they want. So everybody cannot have you cannot have a buy-in of everybody for a particular law. It's never done anywhere. You cannot. Even your own family don't have a buy-in of all your children on a particular issue. We must have, and that is why we want to be. Our view must differ. We must have different view. But at the same time, our overall objective is what we should focus on. What do you intend to achieve? What do you want Ogun State? Will this make Ogun State better? Will it make us worse? So that's the thing we should look at. If it make us better, I don't see anything wrong.
The key traditional rulers in Ogun State, we saw them in the video when the bill was actually signed to law. Does that actually imply that everybody is in support of this? Because it's become law now, just like you said, it can't be contested anymore.
You can contest in a law court. You can also propose to us for amendment. I mean, that's the fact that has been done does not mean there could be some flaws. We are all human beings. You can hear one way or another. But you have the right to say, please, to us, I would think this part should also be looked into. And we can as well change it. There is no better way, there is always a better way of doing things. We can continue to look at it and improve on it.
This is something that is earth-shaking. Ogun State is a state that is really, really deep in tradition. Over the years, when you read the history of Ogun State, Egbaland, Yewa, Ijebu, Remo, and all of that, there's no way you can actually take away history from those zones. So this is something that is thoroughly earth-shaking. That's the way people are actually looking at it. Now, moving forward, what do you think this will actually bring to our traditional institution going forward, even beyond your administration?
You see, a whole lot of people, even when are interested in becoming Oba, king, and they have idea. The idea of governance is to move your area forward. But because of this, all these problems, a lot of people are shying away from it. Why? And with the power, cherish it. Where my mother was buried or my father was buried, I've never been there over 10, 15 years. It doesn't really matter. But we need to give our system, give everybody opportunity to say, okay, if my right is guaranteed, I have an idea, if I come over, I want development, this is what I can do, this is what you can do. We know it's a life thing, and it is for selected family. For selected family. So in that family, some people have better idea. But when they say, tradition, I'm not interested, and we cannot continue. And we cannot be blowing hot and cold. Even as Oba, they claim whether to be Muslim or to be Christian. You see them in church. So give them opportunity. If somebody says, I want to shoot to be a traditionalist, I have a friend, the father died as a spiritualist, and that's what he believes. And I was telling the person a few days ago that sincerely speaking, I think I want to prefer this your religious self. Because you don't see somebody that go and make a false oath before you go, you lost. The person will not try it. But we also want to bring the Bible, Quran, just take it as if God will still, the person will still get punishment for it. But our people are afraid of instant punishment. So if you want to go traditional, I'm not against anybody that chooses to do that. But if you look at the number, even somebody in his family, if you put our family together, we take this, how many percentage do we have? And those families form the society. The thing is being eroded. It's a lot of people that even go traditional. They don't want to show it in the open. They should be proud of what you are doing. If you are proud of what you are doing, so this was not in any way. That I would say that this was printed that it was the traditional right. It was still performed. Nobody is taking that away. But if the person say that if I die, just do my body any how you want it, no problem. It's okay if I die after traditional right, bury me as a Muslim, bury me as a Christian. I think that person should be given such right.
That seems to be the only controversial issue in this new law. And I think you've actually explained it, more thoroughly to us now. We must thank you so much for coming, and we know it's really a hot seat you are sitting on.
Let me quickly chip in and ask a question.
Okay.
I want to, based on what the initiator, his speech, he said it has actually earned the governor
a second time.
Yeah. Was it a political strategy?
No. You see, the man is right, and I will tell you why he's right. What is about politics is about majority. If Muslim and Christian are majority and they are doing their bid, would that answer on second time? It's about majority. The ability to satisfy the majority is what governance is all about. You cannot satisfy everybody. Even your immediate family, you cannot satisfy everybody. Once you are able to satisfy about, if you take in percentage term in Ogun State, Christianity, Islam, whether counterfeit or genuine, we take about 80%.
What happens to the case of Alaye Abba Ayepe now?
The case is in court. It's in court. So
it's not as if automatically it's dead.
No, because now the thing has been done, and this law is just 2021 law, just this law. The law was already said before then. Whatever the argument would be, is still based on the former law. So I don't know. But what we are saying, we want to give everybody free will. It's okay. As Oba, what must you take? I'm a commissioner now. Does that take my fundamental right away from me? Because I'm a commissioner. No, some things we should not
Well, anytime you interview Honorable Morufa Falabi, you have to be very careful because he has an answer to every question. That's why they call it experience counts. We want to thank you so much for coming on this program. So I've come to explain the new OGUN chieftaincy law, and I think for those that have watched this interview, I think you've been educated more, and I think you've actually understood, practically now what this new law is trying to achieve. We want to thank you so much for coming. Muji, we have to go now, and thank you so much for watching The People Study. We urge you to keep watching us the entire day. New Dawn on Monday comes back next Monday. Well, of course, don't forget that the video back on this program comes up to all, which is called Sonjo. We'll see you again next Monday. Thanks for watching.
Okay, bye.